Hello friends. Okay, so it is the first week of December as I'm sat here filming this. I'm not sure when I'm going to upload, but early-ish December. And the video that I am wanting to film right now is maybe a bit controversial. I don't know. Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just me overthinking things. And before I sort of get into what I want to say, I really want to make one thing very clear. At the moment, there's a lot of content in the recovery community being shared about how difficult Christmas can be and how to deal with the pressures of Christmas, the run up to it, the thing itself, afterwards. And I want you to hear loud and clear that I am not saying that any of that is not relevant and important and the reality. Not saying that at all. It is. In all sorts of different ways, recovery at Christmas can be a challenge, and more of a challenge. And I think some people more so, some people less so, but there is certainly a truth in the fact that Christmas can be a time where the challenge of recovery is heightened, increased, deepened. But my point that I really want to make is that whilst all of that is very much true, Christmas can also be an amazing time for recovery. You heard me right. And maybe some of you are getting it. If you are, please do leave your messages in the comments below, because I could just be me on my own on this. But I feel like I really want to share this because I know that for me, whilst my eating disorder was petrified of Christmas for all sorts of different reasons, the Christmases that I went into in recovery with a I am doing this mentality, there were so many amazing opportunities for my recovery. So many brilliant possibilities and hoops that I could jump through and skills that I could practice, and I don't know, just so much great stuff and so much amazing food as well. Like, Christmas is such a good time for really cool themed like bakery goods and coffee shop stuff and restaurants and like home cooked things. There is so much potential for Christmas to be a really brilliant time for recovery. And I know that, like I say, the ones that I went into in recovery, that I was like, yeah, I'm doing this. I am smashing. I'm going to push this. Did I get it perfect? No. Remember, recovery is not about perfection. But when I would go in with that mindset of, I'm going to make this as good as I can possibly make it, there was so much potential and opportunity for great stuff. And the reason I want to share this is because sometimes I think I would look at the recovery, recovery at Christmas is hard, it's hard, it's hard. And I think, yes, while some of the content was amazing, it was supportive, and, now I can look at it recovered and think, wow, yeah, no, that's a really useful resource for someone that's going into this time. I also think that any online community can almost create this kind of microcosm. Is that a word? I want to say microcosm. I also think that might not be a word, but it can create this environment where it's all heightened. It's like, oh, Christmas is hard, Christmas is hard, Christmas is hard, Christmas is hard. And what we know to be true about neural rewiring and the neural plasticity of the brain is that we can shift things through our self-conversation and our environment. So if you are in an environment and spending a lot of time in an environment, the online community, where there's a lot of reference to it being a hard time of year and it being difficult, I think that sometimes that can almost negatively impact. And again, please refer back to my first bit where I said that there's so much amazing content and that the struggle of this time of year is definitely not just this imaginary thing, and that's not what I'm saying. But I feel like I really want anyone who does in any way relate to this or could benefit from it to hear this loud and clear, that yes, that is true, and Christmas can be an amazing opportunity for recovery and can be really enjoyable. I think that there's too much black and white sometimes, and I am all here for the shades of grey, and those are particularly relevant in recovery. And so I really want to present that opposite argument that, yeah, it can be hard and it's an amazing opportunity. So make use of the advent calendars that are going around, that offer or give suggestions for challenges each day. Check in with, if you can remember you before your eating disorder, check in with the kind of things that you used to like doing or having before your eating disorder. Check in on the stuff that you are seeing other people doing and thinking, wow, that looks good, that looks nice. In the shops, the food you clock that you think, wow, that looks good, or the flickers of things that come up into your mind that you go, oh, I used to like that, or oh, that person's doing that. All of these things, use all of that, gather it all up, and let it inform the doing that you do, the doing you do, the actions you take this Christmas. And remember that it's what you do today that informs the trajectory of tomorrow. And therefore, it's what you do today that informs the trajectory of this Christmas. Focus your attention on what you can do. It's very easy in recovery to be sucked into focusing on the can'ts. I can't do this and I can't do that and this will struggle and that's hard. And it's important to be aware of that stuff. But I'd really ask you to bring yourself into the now and focus on what you can do. What you can do in this moment to set the trajectory for this Christmas to be a Christmas that serves your recovery, that empowers you, that channels the life that you want to live and the person that you want to be, and that sets the tone for Christmases to come. And if you are someone who struggles to stay in the now, particularly at this time of year, potentially, with all of the different things going on, both in the run-up to Christmas, Christmas itself, then I'd ask you to really focus on that, bringing your attention back, bringing your attention back into where you are, here, now, and focusing on the doing. You're so distracting. Basically, when you notice yourself going to that future place, bringing yourself back to the moment that you are in and focusing on what you can do right here and now to push forwards positively. Keep it simple. Keep it in the now. Be aware of that tendency to worry ahead of the what's next and this and that thing. Set yourself up to win. Put boundaries in place. All of this brilliant information that's being shared. Take what helps. Absolutely take what helps. But remember that just as this is a very challenging time of year, there is also huge potential for it to be a great opportunity recovery-wise. So for anyone who relates to this message at all, please do let me know in the comments below, and also share with me maybe one way, maybe a few ways in which you are going to harness the challenge of Christmas, the challenge of today, the challenge of something that's coming up this week, the challenge of this time of year, as a way to push forward with your recovery, the way that you are going to attack this month with that viewpoint of, I'm going to make this as good as I can possibly make it. I would love to hear from you, and I look forward to speaking to you in another video very soon.